Hey guys, how are you? David here from TechSocial.com. A while back, maybe about a few weeks or so ago, I invited you guys to ask me questions regarding the Panasonic HDC-SD600K camcorder, which I'm recording with right now if you want to get a good idea of lighting and audio quality. And quick disclaimer, I asked you guys to send in questions via Twitter and my website. Gotta be honest, and I'm really sorry about this, the whole Twitter thing did not work out with the hashtag because apparently Twitter searches only last for a couple days, which in my opinion kind of sucks. I really think they should fix that. So I'm sticking to all the questions posted on my website, but I got plenty of comments, 27 to be exact. Some of them are repeats, but that's okay. And so for my next Q&A video, which will most likely be my TV, which I love, sexy thing, I will be only taking questions via my website and not Twitter. So that's just a disclaimer. So for anybody that sent in questions via Twitter, I really do apologize about that. But hopefully you'll have your chance to get your question in my next Q&A video. Anyway, let's just get on with it. I have about 13 or so questions here highlighted that I'm about to read off to you guys and give you my honest answers. Here we go. First question comes from Ross Jameson, and it is, are you currently using any external microphone? And if not, do you ever plan to with this camcorder? No, I am not, because for one main reason, this camera does not support external mics, unfortunately. However, if you really are interested in that, then I suggest looking at the step above this, and that is the Panasonic, I believe it's called the HDC TM700. Now, this camcorder is practically double the price. It's like $800 or $900, something like that. And that's honestly why I did not get that camera. It would have been really nice to have external mic support, but it's really not something I need right now. And quite frankly, I really don't have that much money to spend on a camera that I use for YouTube videos and not real cinematography. Number 2 comes from Aditya Chanana. Anyway, can we take a picture while shooting video on this camcorder? Unfortunately, no. I thought you could. Gotta be honest, so it's really not a huge deal to me because I rarely ever take pictures with a camcorder. It just doesn't feel right to me for some reason. But I tried to, and unfortunately you cannot. And how many hours do you get on the camcorder battery? As of this recording, this battery has about 70% battery life, and it says I have like an hour and 5 minutes left. So I'm going to estimate between an hour and a half and 2 hours. Alright, next question comes from Phil, and that is, I just bought a Sanyo Exacti VPC CG102. I actually had that camera a while back. If you guys are interested, just search my channel and you'll see the unboxing, which you did an unboxing video for a while ago. That sounds weird, but yeah, correct. And I'm curious to know how you find the quality of these cameras comparatively, as well as features. Well, let's just be honest here. The CG102, I believe, costs like only $150 right now, and this camera costs about $400 or so. So it's definitely a huge difference. This camera lets in so much more light than the CG102, and let me just say right now, the number one feature I like about this camera, why can I never say feature, about this camera over any Sanyo camera I've ever used? Come on guys, guess it. Yes, autofocus. The autofocus on the Panasonic cameras absolutely blows away the Sanyo cameras. I don't know what it is about Sanyo cameras. They're good for the price, but the autofocus is horrible. Panasonic's cameras have always been great, so that is my one main difference of Sanyo versus Panasonic, is that the autofocus is just much, much better. Moving on to Baldwin Nguyen's questions. Sorry, that's Mitzi meowing in the background. How do you feel about the pricing of the HDC SD600K? I think you bought it when it was on sale, but I'm referring to the original price. I'm not sure what the original price is. I think it's around $400 or $500. Mitzi, get. Sorry, she always likes to hit the tripod. I just checked Amazon before this video, and I believe you can get it used for between $350 and $400. So if you're gonna spend between $350 and $450 for this camera, I gotta say it's definitely worth it. The amount of features and quality it packs into this tiny form factor is just amazing. Moving on to Jacob Shepard's question. Jacob Shepard makes me think of Jack Shepard. Lost? Anyway. Sup, David? Sup, Jacob? Does the camera do a good job at recording your iPhone and iPad screens for app demos and future iOS walkthroughs? Hell yes. This camera, as mentioned about a minute or two ago, the autofocus kicks ass and it's just awesome for any kind of use basically. David Bozovic asks, hey David, with your overall experience with cameras and with the dilemma of late involving the Samsung and your two Sanyos, would you say that the Panasonic is the way to go in terms of video cameras, excluding handheld camcorders such as the Kodak ZI-8s and Flip Mino HD? Hell yes. Let me reiterate, guys. This camera just walks all over the Sanyo cameras. Samsung I really can't talk about because unfortunately I had a Lemon. It was just bad out of the box. It's just bad luck, I guess. Apparently the Samsung does great quality from what I've seen on YouTube, but me personally, I have not actually used it to give you an honest opinion. But from what I can tell, Panasonic versus Sanyo, yes, I'm going to repeat myself, Panasonic all the way. Next question comes from Roid. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And their YouTube channel is youtube.com/GameKobe123. And their question is, how would you compare the video quality and features of Panasonic HDC-SD600K to your old camcorder? I believe you're referring to my Panasonic PVG-S500. I got that camcorder in 2006. And let me just say, the build quality is just as good. It's Panasonic. Panasonic has an awesome track record for build quality and overall a well-built product. In terms of video quality, it still looks amazing. Obviously, it's much, much better than the PVG-S500 because that wasn't even HD. That was just SD. And this does up to 1080p, and the video quality just looks awesome. The colors pop a lot more, I've noticed. When I look at my old videos on YouTube, such as Seaside Nights 2006 and 7 and 8, and I believe 9, actually maybe even 10. I think 10 I took my Panasonic. The colors just pop a lot more with this camcorder. When I look at my old videos, yes, I'm repeating myself, the colors look a lot more flat, I guess that's the best way of saying it. Next question comes from James Hill. I'm sorry, there's a chopper going over the house really close. Can you hear that? My room's actually shaking. What's it like in a low-light situation when you film footage handheld? And this comes from James Hill again, sorry. Their Twitter is Redefined Geek. That's actually a great name. Low-light footage is, as you expect from other camcorders of this range, it's not amazing, but it's definitely good enough. And yes, there's noise out front. UPS is here with my Logitech mouse, which I'll have an unboxing on in a few days. This next question comes from YouTube user DaRealHannes. Duh as in D-A, real, the word real, then H-A-N-N-E-S. And they ask simply, is the charging station really that useful? And then they go into an explanation saying it wouldn't be really that convenient plugging it into the camcorder since the battery you have to take out every time. And yes, I kind of agree that's not the most convenient setup, I guess you could say. But I gotta be honest, guys, it's really not a huge deal for me. My charging station's right down here. I don't think you could even see that. Barely, yeah. I actually have two batteries. I'm obviously using one right now, and I have a spare one down there. You just take it out. Well, you actually have to open the screen to take the battery out, which is a little weird, but I'm used to it now. You take the battery out. It's just a simple clip. Put it in the charging station. Put the new one in the camera, and it takes like 15-20 seconds. So it's really not a big deal to me. But if that's something that is really, really important to you, then I guess that's something to keep in mind. Next question is a very simple one, and that comes from Saxman112. How many frames per second can you get with this camera? 60 frames per second. Next question is another very simple one, and that comes from YouTube user MacBook1, MacB00K1, and he asks, or she, David, does this camera have night vision? Simply put, unfortunately, no. And the final question of this video series comes from Shakatu1, and that's their YouTube channel, SHAKATU1, go check them out. They say, hello David, how is the image stabilization while zoomed in with this camera? Let me just say right away, and this is going to sound like an ad for Panasonic, and it's not. This is the best image stabilization I have ever seen on any camcorder I have ever used. It's amazing, and to live up to that statement, here's a quick test clip. Alright guys, we are now looking out into the hallway outside my bedroom. Now let's zoom into this doorknob. As you can see, autofocus is great. It's practically instant. And obviously, if you can't tell, the image stabilization is off. Especially since I'm talking right now, it's a little shaky. Now we will turn it on in 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Huge, huge difference. Big, big difference. I cannot stress that enough. Absolutely amazing. Hopefully that clip proved what I just said true. And that is that. You guys know me, I like to throw papers. Anyway, I did not answer all of your questions, obviously. That would take over an hour. But I usually try to get this video out in less than 15 minutes or so. That's the watchable length, in my opinion. But of course, if your question did not get answered, don't freak out. Simply post your question under the video, and I myself or somebody, such as another Panasonic camera user, will help you out with your question and hopefully provide a good answer. And do not forget, I will be doing a Q&A video very soon on my new Samsung HD TV right behind me. I love this thing. Love it. I praise it. Seriously, I do. I love it. And I've decided to do a Q&A video on my Google Chrome OS notebook. So if you guys are interested in that as well, post in the comment section saying yes or no, because I know I got that notebook back around my birthday. Now it's December 22nd. And it's already been a couple months. And honestly, I find it difficult to talk about a notebook that everyone else has already made a video about. So I'd rather do it in a more personal approach and take your questions. So again, if you're interested, just say so in the comments and I'll get that out in a couple weeks or so. Quick announcement. I am very proud of this. My videos, well, not all of them, my top 20 or so most popular videos and every video after this is now available on iTunes. So if you go to ddefranco.com/iTunes, that should auto-forward you to my podcast page on iTunes itself. And now I think I am finally done talking my head off. Peace.